Alright, Stockmaster fans, a re-review from my previous channel. I've only seen it once before. It's Unhinged. Let's check it out. This is Terry talking to her mom.
I'm old enough to take care of myself. I'm almost 20 years old.
And here's Terry meeting her friends Nancy and Gloria.
Shouldn't expect to hear you sounding quite so chipper this morning.
They're going to some rock festival or jazz festival.
Shit. Get in.
State police today are seeking the whereabouts of two Junction City girls who disappeared from the Smoke Ridge campground near Pinewood. Missing are 18-year-old Leslie Montag and her 50-year-old sister Stacy.
Well, they run into a torrential rainstorm, slippery roads. She wakes up in a strange house with some strange folks.
Hold on there, it's gonna be okay.
Where am I?
You're safe inside.
Who are you?
My name is Marion Penrose.
They're in the middle of nowhere, no phone.
Part of the day.
Gloria's hurt.
Terrain's pretty rugged.
They're gonna stay a
I'd
while.
say you and your dark-haired friend would make it, but little one, she won't be leaving for a while.
That's just great.
This is Terry Morgan. And this is Nancy Paulson.
They meet the mother of the house.
Are you one of the Pittsburgh Paulsons? The Steele family?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
Is he still there? And
Mrs. Penrose has some
I
anger
have neither
for her
knowledge of
former
nor
husband.
interest in his or any other man's whereabouts. It is a subject I do not allow to interfere with my thought process. I find it all so tiresome, so wasteful.
So while they're hanging out with the family after dinner, somebody's outside apparently stalking them. One of them finds, I think it's a tooth.
Oh, that's weird. What is it? Look for yourself. Ooh! Like what?
Later that night.
In the last few minutes. No, I didn't. Nothing.
Terry, I was asleep.
Remember when I told you I thought someone was watching us?
Yeah.
Well, there was, and it's a man.
How do you know?
I heard him.
What do you...
For no reason whatsoever, the girls take a shower together.
Don't worry.
It's a nice nude scene, but I can't really show you much of it.
Yes, I just need some directions on how to get
Nancy
to the
decides she's going to go and get help.
Of course, that's simple. Do you see those two trees out there?
Yeah.
If you pass directly between them and keep going in a perfectly straight line, you'll go over several knolls and eventually come to the main highway.
When Terry goes exploring the next morning, Marion freaks out.
Terry, I'm sorry, but you really can't be up here.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
It's terribly dangerous. You see the timbers inside the shed, they're not stable.
Well, Nancy does leave, but she doesn't get to the town. We get a little history of this weird
When I was
family.
very young, there was an incident. A horrible incident, as you may have gathered by now, involving my father and a very young girl. You must understand, my father was a very undisciplined man.
I heard a man last night myself.
A man? That's not possible. I told you about her obsession. She will not allow men in this house.
I kind of guessed that. I know this is going to sound crazy, but...
So Terry's been hearing a man breathing at night, but they insist there's no man there. What about that guy lurking outside? There he is again. While snooping in the attic, Terry finds some old pictures. Looks like two boys, doesn't it? We learn about that man.
You see,
The man that you saw at your window is my younger brother, Carl. But she
Carl never fully
blocked out of
developed.
her mind everything to do with them. So as hard as it may be for you to believe, as far as my mother is concerned, Carl, her own son, never even existed.
What kind of things?
Oh, some young girls. I don't know how many. Anyway, some have turned up missing.
I heard something about that on the radio.
This lady
Gloria is
really
improving.
gray.
You won't be any happier to get out of here than I will. I'm a little nervous.
About what? I mean, this place is creepy, but what's the deal?
Just keep your voice down and listen.
A little while later, Gloria meets her end.
What to tell you, Terry?
Of course, she's missing now.
Maybe she went outside for a breath of fresh air.
Terry goes outside looking for her and meets up with Carl. She ends up hiding in that shed to get away from Carl and discovers bodies and body parts, including those of Nancy and Gloria. She escapes from there and manages to get back, I think it's in the house, where she gets a hold of a gun. And that's the end of Carl.
Oh my God, what have you done to him? Oh, Jesus. Why did you have to hurt him? He tried to kill me! He was only playing with you.
Well, then Marion then pulls out a long knife and goes after her. And it turns out Marion has chest hair.
Do you think it's been easy all these years? Do you? Do you think it's been easy trying to take care of my brother? Trying to keep my secret from my mother? Having to keep my own feelings locked up inside?
Do you have another one of your men up there?
No, Mother.
All right, let's talk about 1982's Unhinged. I'd seen this movie once before. I've owned this DVD for, shit, like 20 years or something. I bought it sight unseen. I just got it from Best Buy or something. I don't know. Didn't watch it until 2012 when I reviewed it on my previous channel. That was the first time I'd seen it, and this is now the second time I've seen it. Didn't remember pretty much nothing about it, actually. We have three women who get into a car and they're going to go camping, or I guess. No, actually, no, they're going to some sort of like rock festival or jazz festival. I'm not sure. But the roads are really bad. They're in the wooded area somewhere. They skid off the road and have an accident. Later on, they wake up in this mysterious house, which apparently is off in the woods somewhere in the middle of nowhere. There's electricity there, but there's no phone. The weather's still bad, and one of them is apparently a little bit injured, so she's going to need a few days to recoup. So the other two are up and around, and they decide they're just going to stay there, I guess, and be guests of this family. There's an older woman there, Mrs. Penrose, her daughter Marion, and there's a guy who like cuts wood for them or something. I don't know, chops wood. But anyway, at night, Terry thinks she sees somebody creeping around outside, a guy. Doesn't know anything about it. Marion tells some stories about some things that happened in their family years ago. Their father was a bad guy, diddled around with a 9-year-old girl or something like that. I don't know. But her mother has been anti-man ever since, and no men are allowed anywhere near the house, apparently, except, of course, the guy who helped them out, helped them from the accident, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, next thing you know, one of the girls, Nancy, decides to go back into town. She walks through the woods, and then she gets killed by some guy. I think it's pronounced a scythe is the weapon that was used. Pretty bloody there, actually. Gloria starts to recover a little bit, but then she gets killed, so all we have left is Terry. Terry gets stalked by this guy who we find out is Carl, the younger brother of Marion. She tells a story that he never fully mentally or cognitively developed, so he just kind of wanders around outside. Marion kind of takes care of him, I guess, because his mother is anti-man and doesn't want any men around. But Carl starts stalking Terry, and Terry freaks out and runs away, and she ends up finding a whole bunch of dead bodies and body parts in this shed, so she naturally assumes Carl did it. She runs off, gets a gun, and shoots Carl in the head. Marion comes up. What did you do? What did you do? You killed my brother. He was only playing with you. Turns out Marion is the bad guy. She pulls out this gigantic sword or something and goes after Terry, and eventually she kills Terry. So there are no survivors in this movie. It turns out also that Marion is a guy. She has some chest hair on her, though it was played by an actress, a woman. She says she's had some problems dealing with her gender. I don't know. But anyway, the movie ends with Mom yelling upstairs, hey, are you up there with one of your men again? And to which she talks in her female voice and says, no. And that's how our movie ends. So that is Unhinged. Apparently this was one of those video nasties in the UK in the mid-80s that were banned from all the video stores and such. There's really only 3 deaths in this movie, though, so it's not that bad. The gore actually was pretty good. Had some gratuitous nudity in here as well. Excuse me. But yeah, it was like, I guess, kind of a typical 80s slasher. It wasn't the biggest budget in the world, and it wasn't the best actors and actresses in this movie. Apparently these were all locals from the Portland, Oregon area who just did this. I don't know if they did any other films other than this one, but I think they actually did a pretty good job for this. For a low-budget independent flick, not bad at all. So anyway, that is Unhinged. So let me know what you think about it. I don't know if this is really released on Blu-ray or not. If it is, I'll leave a link to that one down below. If not, you can definitely get the DVD because I've had it forever. So check it out. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think about Unhinged. Watch it. Bye.